Hello everyone. So this is my second video for you people. Today I will be starting a new chapter, that is transfer of heat. This chapter will also be divided into two parts. In the first part you will get conduction and convection, and in the second part you will get radiation of heat. Okay, so let's start with the first part. Before we go to the conduction and convection, let me give you one brief introduction about this chapter. So transfer of heat or heat transfer is the movement of thermal energy from one thing to another thing of different temperature. Okay, for example, when we fry vegetables in a pan, heat transfer takes place from flame to the pan and then to the vegetables. Another example, say heating of milk in a pan. Heat is getting transferred from the flame to the pan and again from pan to the milk. Okay, then suppose another example, in a microwave the substances are heated directly without any heating medium. So these are the examples of transfer of heat. Now there are three methods of heat transfer. First is conduction, convection and radiation. Conduction is actually the transfer of heat from a hot object to a less hot object when they are in physical contact. They are called as conduction. So basically conduction is a heat transfer through stationary matter by any physical contact. For example, in page number 42 you have one activity, that is activity 5.2. Here in this experiment, let me show you one figure. It is already there in your book. We have taken one metal rod. Okay, the brown part that you are seeing here, it is the metal rod, and this metal rod is placed in a metal rod stand. Okay, then we have taken Bunsen burner, and in this metal rod we have fixed some board pins with the help of candle wax. Okay, now what we will do, we will hit the furthest point of the metal rod. After hitting the furthest point of the metal rod, we will see that after some time the board pins are falling down. Okay, why these board pins are falling down? It is because of the conduction. Now how conduction of heat is taking place? When we have heated the furthest point of the metal rod, the molecules which are present in the metal rod, they have started vibrating very faster. Okay, now when they started vibrating, heat transfer taken place. Heat transfer was taken place from one point to another. This heat transfer, due to this heat transfer and due to the vibrations, the board pins were fallen down. Okay, now this was the example of the conduction of heat. Now conduction of heat always requires a medium. Always requires a medium for its heat transfer. Here the medium was the metal rod. Okay, and where it has applied the heat? To the board pins. Okay, so this was the example, or you can say the experiment regarding conduction of heat. Now you can see in figure 5.2, say these are the molecules of the metal rod and this is the flame. So when we have heated the furthest point, the molecule started vibrating. Okay, it started vibrating, and as a result what happened? Heat was transferred from one point to another point, and due to this heat transfer the board pins, they fell off. Okay, so this was the example of conduction of heat. Now in page number 42 you have conditions for conduction. There are two conditions. First of all, the two bodies should always be in a physical contact, and the two bodies should always have a difference in temperature. Okay, now conductors are those materials that conduct heat readily. For example, all metals, they are very good conductors, while some substances like wool, wood, wool or stone, then glass, these are the bad conductors of heat. Then all the liquids and gases are bad conductors. They do not allow heat to pass through them. But one liquid named as mercury, it is a good conductor of heat. Okay, there is some exceptions there. Now in page number 42 you have some uses of conductors and insulators. You read those uses. In page number 43 also you have one use. Okay, so you study all the uses of conductors and insulators. Next we will come to the convection of heat. So convection, it is a transfer of heat from one place to another by the movement of fluids. Okay, it is a circular motion that happens when warmer air or liquid which has faster moving molecules making it less dense rises while the cooler air or liquid drops down. This continuous movement that is seen when a warm substance rises and a cooler substance settles down, it is called as convection current. Now example of some convection currents are also given in page number 45, that is land breeze and sea breeze. Okay, so what are these breezes actually? If you take a walk along a dry beach on a hot early afternoon, you will see that when you will put your bare foot in the sand, you will start hopping and jumping, and immediately you will run towards the sea to soak your scorching feet in the water. It is because the sun heats both of them up. However, land and water, they do not heat up or cool down at the same place. This differential heating and cooling of land and sea, it gives rise to breezes in the coastal areas. These breezes are of two types, land breeze and sea breeze. Okay, so first we will discuss about the sea breeze. So during daytime, what happens? The land, it gets heated very quickly, and the air which is present above the land, it becomes warm. Due to the warmth of the air expands. Okay, the air expands means it increases its volume and it rises up, causing an upward current. Okay, as you can see here, some arrows are given. It moves up. Meanwhile, since water, it takes longer to heat, the air which is above the sea, it remains relatively cool. Okay, now this cool air, it flows from the sea to the land. Okay, to fill in the space which is made by the hot air that has risen up. Now this flow of air from sea to land is known as the sea breeze. Okay, the flow of air which is seen, that is coming from the sea to the land, it is called as sea breeze. Okay, now in the land breeze, what happens? After sunset, what happens? The land, it cools very quickly, but the sea, it takes much longer to cool and it remains warm. The warm water hits the air above it. Okay, and the hot air, it rises up. The hot air, it rises up. Okay, however, the land has cooled by now and the air above it is cooler. Okay, now this causes a current of air to flow from the land. The air is coming from the land to the sea. This is known as the land breeze. Okay, so this was all about the sea breeze and the land breeze. You practice the diagrams. Okay, whenever you will be writing any notes regarding sea breeze and land breeze, you please give the diagrams. Okay, and in page number 45, you have applications of convection currents. In page number 46 also you have some applications, so you read these applications at home. Okay, so this was about the first part. In the next video, I will be discussing about the second part of this chapter, that is radiation of heat. Okay.